Alright, everybody, welcome back to the channel. John Owen talks about sports and movies. As always, thank you for checking out today's video. I always appreciate it. Leave a like and a comment, and we'll have a good day. Alright, let's get into the rest of the video and what it's actually about. Now, while we all love our heroes, we really do. It's what our story is about. We all know that a compelling, interesting villain is just as important as a relatable, likable hero. We know that the villain is what causes our hero to be pushed and to change and to grow. And so for me, villains are just as important as our heroes, and it's time to give them their due diligence. So today we're going to cut down my top 10 favorite movie villains of all time. Alright, let's get into the video, and make sure you leave your thoughts on this list and share of your own in the comments below. Alright, so starting off our top 10 list is Smaug from The Hobbit. Now, I'm going to be real honest with you. When my sister said she wanted to watch The Hobbit, I wasn't real sure just because it seemed like way fantasy for me. But then she told me there was a big dragon named Smaug. And I was like, okay, I am interested. And then that's why I watched. And it actually ended up being pretty good. So, anyways, so then Smaug pops on screen. I had to wait till the end of the second movie to see this big man. It did not disappoint. He's not complex at all. He likes the gold. He punished all the dwarves for being greedy. He took all their gold. He's a huge, ginormous, awesome, bad A dragon. And he has a cool voice. He's voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, who's also Doctor Strange. So I was like, that's a wrap, dude. Smaug lived up to my expectations, so Smaug's got to sneak onto the list. Alright, number 9, we got Green Goblin. Now, I'm not talking about either the Harry Osborns. I'm talking about the OG William Dafoe 2002 rainy epicness that is Green Goblin. By far and away, pretty easily my favorite Sam Raimi trilogy Spider-Man villain. I believe his connection to Peter is the most sincere and the most intimate. He truly looks at Peter as his own son, even over Harry, and just his divulsion into this maniac obsessed with power and saving Oscorp and everything like that is just really awesome to watch. And even at the end when he's menacing and he's got that awesome Green Goblin costume on, even as kind of gimmicky as it looks, I am in love with it, man. I think it looks awesome. And even at the end, he's still manipulating Peter. Oh, I'm the father you never was. Peter, don't kill me. And then he tries to kill Peter anyways because he's Green freaking Goblin. Man, and I freaking love Green Goblin, so that's why he's at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we got Loki. In my opinion, the MCU's most important villain, right up there with Thanos. They had to have someone that was worthy enough, a worthy enough threat for the Avengers to come together against. And Loki fit the bill perfectly. From his introduction in Thor, where he's misunderstood and lied to and treated badly by Asgard, his motivation from the jump and his standing and where he's going and why he does his things is totally understandable, very relatable. He has one of the most fantastic arcs in the MCU. One of the only villains that doesn't die, which gives him time to come back and grow into more of an anti-hero and stuff like that. So, to me, Loki is a straight G, and that's why he's number 8 on this list. Alright, number 7, we got Mysterio, the newest addition to the MCU. Quentin Beck is genuinely a bad person. Diabolical, menacing, very manipulative, man. Just gets inside of Peter's head and triggers everything he wants to happen. Has a plan, is smart, knows what he's gonna do, and is willing to do anything to do it. He was gonna kill Peter and kind of just walk it off, and just like, yeah, the blood's on my hand, but it's fine. Like, he was really about it. And you know what? Another thing is, he won. He won the day. Peter may have won the battle. Mysterio won the war. And I don't think he died. I think it was some kind of illusion. And if he's not dead, I'm excited to see what he brings in the future of the MCU and possibly a Sinister Six movie. All right, number 6, we got Kylo Ren. Now, I've talked about Kylo Ren a lot, but I'm going to say it again. He is the backbone of the sequel trilogy, the glue, everything that keeps it together. Without his consistent writing and his well execution of the character and the concept and everything like that, the sequel trilogy would be an even massiver mess than it already is. His motivation is super understandable. His conflict between good and evil, Vader and Han, light versus dark side of the Force, is awesome. His lightsaber is one of my favorite lightsabers of all time. The cross guard that's so menacing and red. And just his pull and his confliction is just all so good. And his redemption back to the light side as Ben Solo was awesome to see. Just wish we got more of it. And if we did, he would be higher up on this list. All right, cracking to the top 5, very competitive list. We got the Terminator. Now, to be fair, I have only seen Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. But I can tell you that those are, A, the best 2 movies in the franchise, and B, the only 2 that really people consider in high regard. And the T-1000, I believe that's his number. Please comment down below if I'm wrong. Is just menacing, just a total brute force monster. Just chilling and cold and calculated and unemotional, just really detached. And then, he comes back in Judgment Day, and he grows, as a AI robot, he grows and he feels emotion in a weird kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator way. And the ending of Terminator 2, where he gives the thumbs up to John Connor after he sacrifices himself to make sure that Skynet never comes back, is awesome. Love Terminator. He's a total beast, and he's awesome on screen. Number 4, we got Scar. Definitely the best Disney villain and my favorite Disney movie. He's definitely going to make it onto the list. I really don't think he's that bad of a guy. He was kind of an outcast and just kind of thrown away by his people. And he wanted revenge. He wanted the pride, and it was for selfish reasons. But, he was just doing what he needed to do to accomplish his goals. And I can accept that. And, he's slick, he's sly, and he's kind of slithery. Nice to Simba, but kind of in a distant ooh-ha-ha way, if that makes sense. And I think that Scar's the undisputed Disney GOAT of villains. All right, number 3, we got Heath Ledger's Joker and Dark Knight. Now, this Joker is the reason that Dark Knight is probably the greatest superhero movie of all time. His just unbridled chaos in pursuit of causing as much havoc needed and as possible is just so fun to watch. Why so serious? All that. Heath Ledger gave it his all in his performance. Literally gave it his all in his performance. May he rest in his peace. He totally deserved that Oscar posthumously. But just the contrast between Batman's kind of cold and calculated and Joker's just total disregard for order and rules was an awesome contrast. And he won. He made Heath Ledger fall. He took the uncorruptible man and corrupted him. So another villain that won, and that's why he's so high up on this list. Probably one of the greatest villains ever. All right, number 2, we got the MCU's biggest bad, Thanos. Without Thanos, the entire Infinity Saga experiment really doesn't work. We were building and building and building to this big, massive event at the end of the line. And it needed a sizable threat. And Thanos fit the bill perfectly. Powerful, understandable, kind of, it's almost painful to watch him because, he's trying to do what he believes is right. His course of action is wrong, but his mission to help save the universe is actually very noble. Now, killing half the people instead of just using the stones to create unlimited resources is obviously very villainous. And he's exactly what our Avengers needed to challenge themselves. Because, like Loki and Ultron were kind of light snacks, honestly. But Thanos, it took everybody that they had introduced in canon to beat Thanos. That just goes to show how powerful he is. All right, before we get into number one, we got our honorable mentions. We got General Grievous, King Owen from Aquaman, the Vulture, Killmonger, Sandman, who, by the way, is the only reason Spider-Man 3 stays together, and Hades from Hercules. All right, with those honorable mentions out of the way, let's go to number one. Number one, we got the undisputed GOAT of movie villains, Darth Vader. To me, unquestionably, the greatest, most iconic villain. You could even make the case character in cinema history, even just taking the original trilogy. No prequel context, no anything like that. When fear is struck into your heart simply by the sound of someone breathing, you know that's how menacing they are. And just his look from top to bottom, all black, inhuman, is just awesome. Honestly, he goes to work against Owen. He beats the absolute crap out of Luke. And even in Return of the Jedi, he goes toe-to-toe with Luke Skywalker. And then at the end, his redemption, throwing Palpatine off, was just so beautiful and so heart-pulling at the strings. And the perfect ending to the first 6 episodes of the Star Wars universe. And with all that, and you throw in the context of the prequels and Anakin's finding, rising, and falling, and his ultimate redemption, you add all that context in there, and it's Darth Vader by a mile as my favorite movie villain and as the greatest movie villain of all time. All right, thank you for checking out today's video. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, and you have a great day.